Hey, good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to beautiful Surfside, California. Here in Southern California, we're sandwiched between Seal Beach and Huntington Beach, and man, what a sunrise. It is gorgeous. It's breezy. We told you you're going to have some breezy weather, and it's breezy out in the Bluefin tuna zone, and it's going to get even breezier as the day goes by, but we'll get back to some really nice weather here shortly. By Tuesday, we have another little blow, and then after that, things are looking good as we push toward Thanksgiving. It's hard to believe 2023 is almost in the rear view mirror, and that blows me away. I think it's a function of my old age. Perhaps some of you younger guys are saying, man, this year really dragged on, but for me, it just flew on by. And there was spectacular fishing all year long for the most part, but not as good as it is right now. It is absolutely tremendous. Anthony Noy, you saw him on the Old Glory, dropping a jig down, hanging a bluefin tuna. Anthony, by the way, great job. And my sympathies to you. I understand Scott Buchert was on that trip. Oh, my God, my heart goes out to you, my friend. Just kidding, Scott. Don't get angry at me this morning. Really great fishing going on the bluefin tuna right now. It has been spectacular with great nighttime fishing, with great daytime fishing. 20 to 40-pound fish prevalent, but a lot of 100-pounders out there lurking. Also, New Loan was doing it again. Great fishing south of the border. We've got great rock fishing. There's still some really good bass fishing here in the late fall. That continues to impress in areas like Marina del Rey and other areas. And lobster galore for so many anglers, including the gentleman up there out of Cisco Sport Fishing. Another rare trip on board the Endeavor. It's going to be at the end of December, right before the rockfish season closes. You're going to want to be on that one with the one and only Tucker McCombs. You know what time it is. It's time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Man, it is... Oh, wait, I got to take a sip of my coffee. What am I doing here? Don't want to screw up the sequence here. Hey, it is great to be with you. Hit that like button if you don't mind. We deeply appreciate that. Share these reports with a friend. That is also super important to us. Tick the bell. You'll be notified when there's new content. And subscribe to the Friedman Adventures channel. Terrible, right? Yeah, I know. You can also follow us on Instagram, on Facebook, and TikTok. We deeply appreciate all your great support. Hey, before I go any further, December the 2nd is our Christmas party. Yesterday, we had a little gathering down at 22nd Street Landing, and I've got to tell you, I'm feeling more blessed than ever. The people who came and brought clothing and then became part of the party and became part of the fundraising that ultimately is going to send a lot of stuff down to Mexico. When I say stuff, I'm talking about much needed clothing and jackets and medical supplies. We've got another warehouse full of great goods that you have all donated that'll be heading down to Mexico for Christmas. It's very costly to send all that stuff. It's a year-round labor of love now where we're picking up stuff, we're housing stuff and warehousing stuff, and then sending it down. The last time we did this, we sent a load of stuff to Isla Cedros Island, because they had that hurricane that really had demolished some parts of the island. Demolished, perhaps, is too strong a word, but we sent down just a ton of stuff with the help of Diego Nuno, Sam De La Torre over at Island Fishing Tackle, and each and every one of you. But yesterday, the people that showed up were magnificent, and I just want to say thanks to Tim, to Jesse, to Greg, to Shant, to Chet, to Doug, and to Michael Limon and his grandpa, Dan Lightfoot, for showing up. And these folks have offered to do so much. Doug, your mother is in my heart, and she remains in my thoughts and prayers, and she lives on with your good works, man. Doug came through. And also, Shant, I got to tell you, man, where is that? Here it is. We've all got to meet up here someday. La Fogata in Sherman Oaks, California. They're helping with so much with our December 2nd Christmas party. My thanks to each and every one of you, and we'll be interacting a lot more in the future. That is for sure. Hey, speaking of the December 2nd Christmas party, reserve your spot now. $15 if you're not a Patreon member. If you're a Patreon member, you are free. $15, you get a meal, pretty much all you can eat. It's going to be a Mexican-style meal. You are going to love it. kids are $5. That's all. And let me just give you some of the highlights of what's going to be happening from 3 o'clock until 8 p.m., 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Redondo Beach Rod and Gun Club. It's going to be so much fun talking fishing and having a blast. First of all, we're going to have the best salsa competition. So if you make a really good salsa, you're going to want to bring it and enter the competition. There'll be a great prize for you. Of course, we're going to have some great stuff for kids, including making Christmas ornaments. The kids will come, they'll go to an arts and craft little display that we have, and they will make their very own Christmas ornament with the help of some of our elves. Santa Claus is going to be there. He will be there, so you're not going to want to miss that. We're going to have great raffles. The food is going to be fantastic. Christmas music playing. It's going to be a festive atmosphere. December the 2nd. I left out Chuck Zimmer. Chuck was there yesterday. The president, El Presidente, the day of the Rod and Gun Club in Redondo Beach. And Chuck is making this all possible. Thank you, Chuck Zimmer. You are the best. All right, so December the 2nd. There's the phone number. Don't miss it. You got to be there. It's going to be a blast. I'm really looking forward to a fun time. All right, let's get into some great sport fishing. I know it's breezy here this morning. I had to go back and put on my little windsock to make sure that you could hear me here this morning. Now, south of the border, we talked about some off-the-hook marlin fishing in Cabo San Lucas. It's been full speed, wide open on the striped marlin down there to get you in touch with that. We also have seen some really good fishing in the San Quintin area for yellowtail and a few big halibut down there in that neck of the woods. Also, we are seeing some really excellent fishing going on up here as we move you up to the Ensenada area, 70 miles below the border. Great rockfish, excellent fishing going on there. So that looks really, really good also. So south of the border, still going really, really well. Our bluefin tuna zone is getting breezy right now. It's going to stay that way until tomorrow, but it has been off the hook. Great nighttime fishing, great daytime fishing. Anthony Noy, you saw him in the very beginning, hanging a bluefin tuna. Fish bit him on the sink. That is always a lot of fun. And man, I will tell you, it is so important, and I say it all the time, that you put your time in at the rail at night and drop when the captain tells you to drop. It makes all the difference in the world. Just ask Eric Cates and Dono Hash. They were out there and they were fishing hard. And man, I'll tell you what, 400 feet of water. There were 9 guys at the rail. 7 of them got bit. Outstanding. 7 fish over 100 pounds for those boys. Really great fishing. They fished 320-gram knife jigs to get the job done. Eric, Dono, nice going. Really, really happy for you. The scores are really outstanding. Old Glory on that trip. Anthony was on with Scott Bucher. Limits of Bluefin Tuna Pacifica. Limits Cortez with a whole mess of 80 to 140-pound fish. Tribute El Dorado. Navigante out of Redondo. The Pacific Dawn. The Pacific Queen. Really great fishing for those guys. And the new low-end limits of bluefin tuna, 90 to 180-pound fish. Man, this is just as good as it gets. And pinch me, I think I'm dreaming. It's almost Thanksgiving, and we're seeing some of the best fishing of the year. We are truly blessed here in Southern California with one of the best bites. I don't even call it a bite. It's just a fishery now. It's been going for several years. It's world-class fishing right here in SoCal. Don't you think I'm kidding either. It's as good a bluefin tuna fishing as you'll find anywhere in this big, giant mundo, this big, giant world of ours, right here in SoCal. And that includes San Diego base landings all the way up to the Channel Islands. It is fantastic. Those guys can reach where this fish is. It's east of San Clemente Island right now, and it bounces around, and some of those big game hunters like the New Loan go off and find some bigger grade fish on other areas. But for the most part, it is easy day and a half. It's easy 1 day range, but you want to be on at least a day and a half trip to find that night bite. You get that night bite and the daytime bite. It has been really spectacular. So be tackled up at night because you hear what the New Loan did. They had all that big grade fish, 200-pound leader material, 300 to 500-gram jigs. You want to have 100 to 130-pound Spectra 2-speed reels, absolutely necessary. in this bite. And also during the daytime, 20, 25-pound fluorocarbon, right on up to 60-pound fluorocarbon. Hook sizes from a number 4 circle hook up to a 1020 size hook. Really great fishing, and it just seems to get better and better and better. We may get a little dip in it because of this wind, but it's going to come roaring right back again. You know, one of the things that holds fish in an area besides water temperature, and you know that bluefin tuna can regulate their body temperature. So if it gets cold here, it doesn't seem to matter, as those bluefin can regulate their body temp and stay warm in a colder environment. But one of the things that will hold fish in an area is a food source, and man, live squid. Of course it's live, it's in the ocean. Market squid everywhere, as you saw up there in the Santa Monica Bay the other day, at the islands, along our coast, Seal Beach, Huntington Beach, and several other areas. All that squid out on the banks where the tuna are being taken is holding that bluefin, and not only holding them, but fattening them up for another great finish to this year. And then we move right into 2024, and this stuff could just keep right on biting. You know, we have this El Nino at play right now, and it's pretty strong, and it's going to probably last into February, March, it sounds like, which will result in the jet stream dipping down, and a lot of wet weather in here to SoCal this winter. But it should be great for the bluefin tuna, and I don't see it going anywhere. Danny Cadota from the Danny Cadota Show here on the Friedman Adventures YouTube channel says those fish are not going anywhere. They're going to stay right here. And I will believe what Danny has to say because the guy is so knowledgeable. So really great bluefin tuna fishing going on right now. It just seems to get better and better and better, and I see no slowdown unless we get an occasional blow like we're getting right now. We get a little bit of wind and that kind of a thing, and then, you know, the bite will take a little bit of a dip. But overall, it is just as good as you could possibly want it right now. Wonderful bluefin tuna fishing on the banks just offshore from here, and it is not slowing down one bit at all as we move up on Thanksgiving. Really great fishing. All right, let's talk islands right now. And, you know, I should mention the Pride, the Amigo, the Freedom out of 22nd Street Landing. They're all over this bluefin tuna. But the Pride limited out on their multi-day trip here on bluefin tuna, as did the Freedom and the rest of the boys. The El Dorado with limits out of Long Beach. The Pride went in to the islands, Clemente, and hammered out some really big halibut. Nice big double-digit score on the flatties, which bodes well for the spring bite in 2024. Maybe we're not going to have to wait till spring, as evidenced by the Pride, as they had really great flat fishing going on. That squid is the magnet that sucks those predators in, like sea bass and halibut and so much more. Wow, it is really looking good at some of the islands. For the most part, we're looking at rockfish at the islands. That continues very strong and very, very well from the Coronado Islands all the way up to the Channel Islands, where it's quite windy here this morning. Channel Islands have got a lot of wind. We're going to have to wait for that to come down, but up there in the Channel Islands, tremendous rock fishing, and above there, Tomorrow Bay, we see great rock fishing also up there in that neck of the woods. Can't get a whole lot better than that. So really magnificent fishing going on. By the way, we have our trips 2024 schedule almost put together. I'll be sending it out to a select number of you, then opening it up to the public. But we have a reverse 2.5-day trip on board the Apollo coming up in June out of 22nd Street Landing. That has halibut, sea bass, tons of rockfish written all over it. Reverse 2.5-day trip. We scheduled it at the perfect moon phase, and we also have it so we leave in the morning from 22nd Street, make squid that night, and rock and roll. At least that's the plan. So I'll be getting that schedule out to you here very, very soon. Maybe we'll have it at the Christmas party. Maybe you show up to the Christmas party, you'll get privy to the schedule that we have, and I can't wait for next season. It's going to be a really great one. So really good rock fishing, and the same thing applies up and down our coast for our 1/2 and 3/4 day boats. The guys that are fishing in here are mostly catching rockfish. Really good in San Diego and all the way up the coast. We see it going on up there at Ventura Harbor sport fishing. We continue to see good fishing there on the islands. We're in California. They hammer out really good catches. There's that trip I told you about right there on the Endeavor. You better call Sal at Ventura Sport Fishing and get on board. 805-676 3474. Get on that last trip on the Endeavor. What a great way to celebrate the new year. Fresh fish for everybody. You get out there on, I think it's December the 30th. It's right there. There you can see it. And jump on with the one and only Tucker McCombs. He keeps doing such great work up there in that neck of the woods. We continue to see really good lobster fishing. Catalina Island has been spectacular. It's going to be a little breezy, but those langostas, those bugs, they love to crawl after you get some wind, so the hoop netting should be spectacular once this wind stops hooting here in SoCal. I'm anticipating some really good stuff coming up. Robert Lopez. Good morning, Robert. Been way too long since I've seen you. He cashed in with easy limits on the lobster. Tremendous. That is 7 lobster per angler. And man, that is good stuff. And he turned it into a culinary masterpiece. Oh my God, just looking at it makes me so hungry, Robert. I'm over here in Surfside every morning, Robert. If you want to drop by with a lobster, no problem at all. Hey, really good stuff there. The gentleman up there out of Cisco Sport Fishing, limits of lobster, 7 langostas for every angler on board. Don't forget, if you go to promarahi.com, you can get 10% off all your lobster gear. Make sure you put in Friedman 10 at checkout, and you'll be in really great shape. So, good stuff on the lobster scene right now. Oh, I meant to mention to you that a lot of guys that were fishing rock cod, the deep water stuff yesterday here in SoCal, just ran into a current that was ripping. It made it really virtually impossible to fish the deep water cod. You're going to have 5 pounds of lead to hit bottom out there. So many of those guys came in and fished whitefish and cheapshead and did okay at that, picking away at that stuff. There's still some good bass fishing around town, and leave it to Marcus Fain, our Friedman Adventures family member, to be in on it last night on the new Del Mar, and he had great sand bass fishing, those big grumpy bass biting on the live squid or fresh dead squid, either case. I like fresh dead myself, lead head and some heavier line, 25 to 40 pound. Man, great fishing going on with some decent big sand bass, and also we've seen some good calico bass fishing. Nick Ramirez here recently out on the Spitfire out of MDR, also doing quite well. Redondo Special also has had some bass fishing going on when they can get out, and they've also been doing good on the rockfish, so we'll keep our eyes on that. Rob Bradshaw, man, I had to throw him in here because he had some great striper fishing. Lake Havasu, the striper bite has been off the hook. Donnie Brockman from freelance fame down there at Davies Locker in Newport Beach. Donnie's been catching them also. I spent a really nice afternoon with Donnie the other day. It was so much fun for his birthday, and I'm looking forward to the Don Brockman podcast coming up in late December. That also is going to be a lot of fun. Once again, folks, I got to thank you so very much for all you do. This surf fishing bite has also been really good. It's going to be, you can fish this, no problem at all. You can fish this, and I'd be throwing like a chrome crocodile. You get out there, or one of those little Castmasters, something like that, and winding back on that. It may get a little too breezy here by this evening to fish it, but overall, it's been really good in the surf. There's been Corbina still biting in the short water on the light line. They're discriminating feeders, so you want to drop down to like 6 pound. I mean, guys like Nolian Jr. fishing down there around the Huntington Beach Pier, they've been dropping down to 4 pound, 2 pound. Noli will drop down too. In some cases, catching Corvina. There's still barred perch around town. They're biting really, really well also. And we've seen that occasional halibut also in the surf with some spot fin croaker also. Remember, the Black Friday sale has started at Big Fish Bait and Tackle in the beautiful city of Seal Beach, California, on the corner of PCH and Seal Beach Boulevard. You can cash in on some great Black Friday sales going on. Early Black Friday sales are already underway down there. You can get all your surf fishing baits. You can get all the gear for bluefin and big game fishing and all your surf fishing gear at Big Fish Bait and Tackle in the beautiful city of Seal Beach, California. Our Independence 8-day trip sails November the 18th, 2024, comes back 2 days before Thanksgiving on November the 26th. It's been off the hook down there. It is every single year. This is the time of the year when you want to go 4 spots left on that trip. We are almost sold out. So grateful to everybody who signed up early on that trip. It is going to be a lot of fun. Go to independentsportfishing.com to get in on it. And remember, there's been great fishing right now on the long range scene. Sam De La Torre's on the Royal Star, great yellowfin, some really big wahoo, and same thing. I don't even need to go through all the boats with the Royal Polaris, the Independence, the Intrepid, the Royal Star, who am I leaving out? The Red Rooster 3. All those boys have been having great fishing on those 8 to 11 day fall trips. There is nothing better. In terms of variety, you cannot beat it. It is really great. Joe Martinez, who's a regular on the Friedman Adventures trips, he just signed up on that trip. Jolene Thompson is thinking about it. Jolene, delay no further. 4 spots left. You better get on that one. It would be so great to have you on board. The one and only Scott Buchert has signed up for that trip. So Scott will be there. In fact, Scott said, I am going to treat everybody to an open margarita bar on the second day. So Scott is really tuning his game up and reaching out to each and every one of you. Hey, have a great, beautiful Sunday. It's gorgeous down here. Can't get any more lovely. It is a little breezy. It's going to get breezier here, but we'll be out of that pretty soon as we bear down on Thanksgiving. My deepest thanks to all of you who brought clothing, brand new shoes, some of the folks, and you are contributing so much to make this Christmas party one to remember, and also to help us send more goods to Mexico. Reaching out to others during this time of the year is a beautiful thing, and I thank God for people like you. All of you who showed up to 22nd Street Landing yesterday. Thank you so very much. Have a great Sunday, and as always, I hope to see you really, really soon. Take care, my friends.